few places.
Yeah, that was
what
tough
exactly happened.
That was hard
I tell
to
you
read.
what, after Kyrie Irving got ejected against the Los Angeles Lakers, things escalated quickly, including Andre Drummond. You see those 20 points and 11 rebounds? Did that in just 22 minutes. He went to work. Clearly his best game as a Laker. Here is Drummond.
Andre, there were a decent amount of people predicting that this Nets-Lakers game would be a blowout, but not in the L.A. direction. You guys were undermanned, and yet you were able to come out with a decisive win. What pulled this together for you guys?
Just our defense. Our defense. We knew that we were undermanned. We came out and just played aggressively, from the beginning, and we took it to them from the beginning and just coasted the rest of the way and just had fun while we were out there despite who was on the floor.
Because of the injuries on this team, you have been asked to make an impact right away. Of course, felled briefly for a couple games by that missing toenail.
Yeah.
It's still hard to talk about, much less experiencing it. What do you do inside your shoe to be able to play the way you did so strong tonight?
If I took my shoe off right now, it's wrapped up like 6 times. I have like 6 toe caps on, a couple tapes. Anything to get back on the floor again. I couldn't leave my guys for too long, and durability is something that I pride myself on. So one way or another, I'm going to get back on the floor.
You guys went on a huge run after the ejections tonight. Dennis Schroeder was a big hit for you guys. He'd been the leading scorer at that point, but Kyrie goes out as well. What did you talk about when Dennis left the game?
Yeah, I brought the guys back together. I said, we can't play like this. Despite losing somebody who was really good for us throughout the game, we have to find a way to pull together and win this game. And defensively, we locked in on, and the rest is history. The scoreboard says the rest.
I know you haven't been with the team for that long, but what have you already learned being teammates with some of the bigger stars on the team and just the team aesthetic and group vibe here in LA?
Just the camaraderie, just how much these guys play together, how much stuff they do together, and just how together everybody is here. And it made me feel like I'm at home. They did a great job of bringing me in and making me feel comfortable.
Well, Lakers had 8 players score in double figures, and the good news just keeps on coming in. Dave McMenamin reporting Anthony Davis will be re-evaluated by team doctors on Thursday. It looks like he could return in the next 7 to 10 days. We've heard this, 3D, but to see it reported and to be coming out about the team right now, Lakers, they're 5-6 since LeBron went down with that ankle injury. It seems as if, though, they're turning a corner. Like they struggled earlier when LeBron went down, and now they seem to be gaining momentum.
Yeah, they struggled because they weren't used to being in that situation because LeBron has been, the table setter for so long. So those guys had to adjust to that. But I also thought, Chris, it was good for him. Just like last year in the playoffs when the role players made shots when things got interesting. Rondo hitting big threes. That's why we know what playoff Rondo is. Now does Matthews and all these other new guys they brought in, they're expected to do all those things that JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard and all those guys, they helped them win the championship last year. Can they hit that switch? We know LeBron's going to get his body ready. He's the best to do that. We know AD is going to do the best he can because we're dealing with the Achilles, and we know how delicate that injury can be. But at the end of the day, I think Frank Vogel and his coaching staff wants to make sure all these other role players and new players understand it's not about getting to the Western Conference Final. It's about getting to the finals and winning again.
Taylor Horton-Tucker, he started, gave him 14.
Served some minutes, though. Another guy that just had now, a week maybe?
Yes, yeah. 17 points off the bench.
Another guy that you may need if you hold on to him when everyone gets healthy. Think about that.
Made 5 threes, 3D. I know you love the three.
Come on, but think about that, though. If he ends up making the playoff roster, because that's one of the tough decisions you have to make when you bring in guys for 10 days and they're specialists and they can make shots to the 5 threes, you're going to need that type of shot making when the playoffs get here. So now, how do you navigate and say, I'm going to keep this guy versus that guy because we know how important shooting is in the playoffs? Well,
they shot 55% from three-point range tonight against the Nets, and it's something we've talked about, Brooklyn in defense. And it's not like James Harden is a defensive stopper. So missing him is not like, they're missing a guy that would slow down that 55% from three-point range or that 50% from the floor of the Lakers shot.
But he would make them slow down because you can't stop him because now you're playing more defense, and now the defense is on their heels most of the night versus going that way because you're one less superstar attacking defense all night long.
So for the Lakers, how do you look at this win if you're them?
This is a good win. You did what you're supposed to. Kyrie and Dennis Schroeder got into a little altercation. You took some of that life out of the arena, which you're supposed to, and you finished out a good win on the road. Versus if you lost that, now people are saying, oh, that altercation maybe hindered you a little bit. Then KD goes off for maybe some more points and you lose that ball game, which didn't happen.
Looks like the Philadelphia 76ers are going to wrap up a win against the Thunder, which means that I believe that those two teams are tied for first place in the Eastern Conference again. So that Laker victory big in the Eastern Conference standings for that reason as well.
Yes. Chris, we're going to talk about this for the next couple weeks. When you're on the road and you have a chance to steal a quality game, you have to take, because we know both conferences is going to be a logjam pretty much the whole way.
Here is Lakers head coach Frank Vogel talking about, here's Steve Nash, Brooklyn Nets head coach, talking about Kyrie Irving.
You know, I don't really know what happened. I'm not sure what was said or what triggered it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I had more insight for you, but just walked off the floor and addressed the team. I haven't had a chance to hear what happened at all.
What's your message after a loss like this?
Yeah, just, I thought that they were the aggressor. They were more physical. They hit first, and we didn't match their physicality and competitive fire. And this is what you get. It was a team missing a bunch of guys, and guys get an opportunity and their eyes light up and they come out and played harder than us, played more physical than us. And it's a great lesson for us.
Ryan Lewis with the New York Post.
On that note, how much of that is matching physicality and how much of that is, I guess, having personnel to match that kind of physicality? And did you consider going to DeAndre, considering his size?
Well, I don't think, we have to be more physical than teams. We just have to match the effort and intensity. I don't think that we necessarily tried to match it. We kind of, I felt like started the game like we'll get into this at some point and win it, instead of we got to hit first and try to take this thing. So that was a mindset. I thought we, succumbed a little bit to their intensity and physicality, and it's a good lesson for us.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, was there any thought to maybe pulling Kevin early before his minutes restriction, just based on the score, or given his long layoff, you want to make sure he hit the number you had in mind for him?
Yeah, that's the tricky part, is that he needs to play a certain amount of minutes to kind of, adapt and to build up to playing, his customary rotation and minutes. So, while it's not ideal sometimes when he's out there and we're down fairly big, we had to leave him out a few more minutes just because we want him to get into game shape and to be able to.
What was your perspective on the what happened with Kyrie and then the eventual ejection?
I mean, we competing out there, and just try to get a W. I think it was unnecessary. It's just unfortunate that I left my team out there, by themselves. And I don't even know what I did, but I got kicked out, and I apologize for that, just to my teammates.
And did you get any indication from the refs about why the ejection instead of the matching technicals?
I didn't know at first that we got double technicals when he came up to me. That's the first thing. But after that, I kept asking him what he is talking about. And he kept talking. Then he got kicked out, or got the second technical. And I said bye, probably, I don't even know if I waved at him. I probably did. And then he said, "You going too," because you waved at him. And I didn't even know I got the, first technical with him when he came up to me. But it happened. I can take it back. So I just try to move forward now.
And then just two other things. Just wondered how your either tailbone or kind of by your tailbone feels now. Obviously, you landed on it. And then what did you think of the way your teammates responded in closing the game out?
It's feeling all right. I'll be okay. And, they played great. Second half, Defensively, got some stops. Went out in transition, passed the ball quick for open threes. Ben McLemore, everybody stepped up. It's just big time.
All right, let's go to Dan.
Dennis, sorry, my camera's off. Hey, Dennis, sorry. when this stretch started without AD and LeBron, you guys have been very resolute in saying we have enough to win. We just kind of have to figure it out. Do you think you guys stylistically have hit the groove that you need to be at? After playing Miami tight, obviously the win in Toronto or in Tampa, and tonight.
Like I said, we just try to do it every night. Sometimes we're gonna come up short. In Miami, it was the turnovers. We beat ourselves there. I had a lot of turnovers. Didn't shoot it great from the field. It happens. You can't control that. But on a defensive end, first quarter, I think they shot like 20 free throws, 30 free throws. I'm not sure. A lot of free throws first quarter. We beat ourselves in Miami. And we still had a chance, even me shooting terrible from the field and having a lot of turnovers. So today, we was out here competing, making shots.